Friends, today we're going to see how to create or draw badminton racket in surfacing. So today we're going to see this particular one. This is simply a 2D model of a badminton racket. Now how to create this one, because we have to follow a different steps. So in my first step I will come up with this particular ellipse, and when I look on this particular cross section AA, this is another ellipse. So first I am creating the two ellipse at a different plane, then I will go you by simply a sweep command. In my second step I will draw this profile, that is arc and a little bit straight line, and here we have the section CC. This is a section CC. I will come up with again the one more ellipse, then again I will use the sweep command. Then I will simply offset a plane at a distance of 425, and there I will create a one more ellipse, section DD. So this is my section DD, and by using a simply multi-section surface I will create this profile. And after this I'll simply offset a same plane at a distance of 550 mm, and I will come up with a simple this particular circle whose diameter is 45 mm, and I'll simply use a blend command, and at the last I'll simply use the fill command and I'll simply close this one. So let's go with one by one. So go here to start mechanical design and go for this wireframe and surface design. If you want, you can rename it or you can keep as it is. Say OK. Now I'm selecting the XY plane and I will come up with the larger ellipse. This one ellipse whose major diameter is 300 mm and the minor one is 200 mm. I'm selecting the center and I will come up with this ellipse. I'm providing the dimensions. The major diameter is 300 mm and the minor one is 200 mm. Right click, go for sim minor axis and say 200 mm. Okay, so this is the ellipse with a full dimensions 300 mm major and 200 mm minor. Exit a workbench. Now I'm selecting this plane as a working for creating or for drawing this ellipse. Now I will draw the ellipse over here. Now I'm again providing the dimensions of the ellipse, which is Rx means radius in x direction is 10, Ry is radius in y direction is 5. For the better understanding purpose I will simply rotate my sketch as per the sketch 1 to get the better understanding. Okay, now I will provide this is Rx 20 and y is 10 mm. So I will go with this as a 20 mm and this one as the 10 mm. This one is horizontal is 20 and vertical is 5. This is 20 and vertical is 10. Okay, now the distance is again 100 mm. From this to this one is 100 mm distance. Okay, now exit a workbench. Now here we have two profiles, that is ellipse, first larger ellipse and second one is a smaller ellipse. So simply go with the particular sweep option. Select the sweep. Here the profile is this one, a smaller ellipse, and the guide curve is a larger one. Say preview and say OK. So in this way we can come up with this particular profile. This is my first step. In the second step, as I told you earlier, come up with this arc and horizontal line. Select this plane and start working on the same. I will come up with this profile, 3-point arc, and a small horizontal line. Okay, now specify the dimensions as per drawing. This is 125, the total is 250, the radius of 200 mm, and from yeah, it is 110. From here to here it is a 55. Okay, now provide the tangency between this and this one, so I'll move this one upward. And from this one, this one is 15 mm. Okay, fine. So in this way we can come up with a fully defined, fully constrained sketch, exit a workbench. Now I have to create the ellipse over here, because in the section CC this is clearly mentioned, the ellipse of major diameter 17.5 and minor diameter is 9. So offset a plane here at the parallel through point. Select the reference is this and point is this. Say OK. In this way we can generate the plane on the point. Click on this particular plane, go in a sketcher 1 and create ellipse. I'm creating the ellipse over here and specify the dimensions. The vertical is 17.5. See, this is as per cut section, so you have to do the proper imagination over here. And this one is 9 mm. This one is 9 mm, and I simply coincide the point with the center of ellipse. Okay, now exit a workbench and use again this particular sweep option. This is a profile and this is a guide curve. Say preview and say OK. So in this way we can come up with the same. Now we want this also on this side, so simply use this particular option, symmetry. Select this, click on the sweep over here and select the plane and say OK. So in this way we can come up with the second also. Now in the third, how to come up with this part. So for this I am selecting again the same plane, this one, and start working on the same plane. Now in this particular section BB, this plane or the view is look like this one. So first I have to create the view which is look like this one, so that's why I'm selecting the same plane. Okay, now select these two ellipse. The first one, holding the control key, second one, and click over here, project a 3D element. See what happened. See, the two yellow ellipse comes on a picture. So that is the use of this 3D one. Now draw one line. You simply coincide with the two ellipses. Now simply specify the dimension. Dimension we want is 23.5. 23.5. Okay, now simply do the symmetry of this one across this one. Symmetry, select this line across this one. Okay, fine. Now we want the profile like this, so I have to trim this part in between these two lines, these two. So go for quick trim, trim this one. Similarly, quick trim and trim this one and exit a workbench. So we'll get the same profile, line, ellipse, similar to this one, line, ellipse, okay. Now offset a plane at a distance of 425, and here we have the section DD and section DD, which is look like this one. This is again ellipse one. Offset at a distance of 4 to 5. This is a plane, offset distance of 425. Okay, start working on this one. I'll draw ellipse. Okay, specify the dimensions. (45) and 40. This one is a 40 and this one is a 45. I simply coincide this with the center of this particular one axis. Now I'm creating the 4 points on this circle because here we have the 4 different points on the sketch over here: 1 point, 2 point, 3 point and 4 point. So similar, we have to create the 4 point over here. So select the point and create on the ellipse and specify this distance from here to here is 23.5 divided by 2, and vertical distance is remains as it is. Okay, now simply do the symmetry. Okay, and these two also. Okay, so in this way we generate the 4 points on the ellipse. Exit a workbench. Now go for the multi-section surface. Select the first two profile, the first one and the second one, and in the coupling select the 8 points. First point and selecting this as the second one. Similarly, selecting this first point and the second point. Again this first, the second, again this first and the second. Okay, now here the closing point is very important. Again I replace the closing point and put over here with the same direction. Right click on the closing point, say replace and click over here. The arrow remain in the same directions. Say preview and say OK. In this way we can come up with the third part. Next part is to simply come up with this one, that is diameter 5 mm, the distance of 550 from the center one. So offset the plane, the distance of 550, and draw a simply circle of 45 mm diameter. Select this and come up with the 45 mm diameter. Fine. Exit a workbench. Use simply this blend one. Select the first circle and select the second profile and OK. See, you can simply use a blend one, and at the last simply fill this one. Select the fill and select this profile and say OK. Fill up these things. In this way we can come up with the badminton racket. This is my first part, this is my second part, this is my third part, this is my fourth, this is my fifth one. So minimum these many steps are required to complete a badminton racket. Okay, I hope this is very much clear to all of you. Okay, thank you very much.